Hello, everyone. Today I'm here to inform you of an event that happened in the United States of America. On September 11, 2001, it's more than just a date. It is a historical event in which a horrific tragedy was committed by terrorists on the United States of America. I was 19 years old. I was a college student in the fall of 2001, and my father was on his way to work one morning. He was listening to talk radio at the time while he was in the car, and he heard that an airplane had just crashed into the one of the World Trade Centers. So he called my mom. I was at home at the time also with this alarming news, and we turned on the TV, and within a matter of moments, a second airplane had crashed into the Second World Trade Center, and it was an actual passenger airliner. When watching this on TV and hearing it on the radio, it changed my life and everyone who lived in the United States of America forever. Most of us no longer felt safe in our own home, much less at work or out and about. We as a nation also felt betrayed by a group of terrorists who wanted to do such harm to such a great country as ours. September 11, 2001 is a day we will always remember from here on out. I hope I am able to cover what this event means to me as well as it does to you. The war on terror started by one simple act from an extreme militant group. Osama bin Laden founded Al Qaeda in late 1988, 1989 or so. It functions as a radical Muslim movement that calls for global jihad. On March 24, 2004, a statement was given by the director of the CIA, George Tenet, to the National Commission on Terrorist Attacks upon the United States. And he said, quote, "This terrorism problem changed fundamentally after bin Laden moved to Afghanistan in 1996. The country had become a haven where terrorists could disseminate their ideology, plot, fundraise, and train for attacks around the world. In 1998, bin Laden issued a fatwa telling all Muslims it was their duty to kill Americans and their allies, civilian and military, wherever they may be." End quote. Al-Qaeda was a worldwide militant Islamist organization. They believed that Christians and Jews are conspiring to destroy Islam. Al-Qaeda has carried out many attacks on non-Muslims, such as this one. The 9/11 attack was because the U.S. supported Israel, the U.S. had troops in Saudi Arabia, and sanctions against Iraq as motives for the 9/11 attacks. Al-Qaeda was linked to the terrorist acts in the northeastern part of the United States. September 11, 2001 marked a sad day on American soil. At the time, 19 Islamic extremist hijackers hijacked 4 U.S. passenger jets. The targets were the center of the U.S. government and its economy. 2 of the airlines crashed into both the north and south tower of the World Trade Centers. 1 crashed into the western side of the Pentagon. And the 4th plane was supposedly targeted for the U.S. Capitol, but instead it crashed into a nearby field in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, because its passengers tried to overcome the hijackers. Almost 3,000 people died in the attacks, including all 227 civilians and 19 hijackers aboard all 4 planes. All airplanes that were flying at the time in American airspace were demanded to be grounded, as well as flights going out of or into the U.S. when the attacks were taking place. This major terrorist act had a huge impact on U.S. soil. The act of terror had a major effect on the United States. This destruction caused serious damage to Lower Manhattan, and it had a significant effect on global markets. President George W. Bush officially announced the War on Terror on September 20, 2001. The war started in October, and thousands of American and British troops invaded Afghanistan and Iraq. After almost a 10-year manhunt, Osama bin Laden was killed in the early morning on May 2, 2011. American Special Forces, which was a team of Navy SEALs, led a top secret mission to raid the compound in which bin Laden was staying. This was a team of 24 members who arrived on 2 choppers. From here, they took his body to Afghanistan to be identified, and then they dropped his body in the North Arabian Sea. Since the death of Osama bin Laden, the United States is slowly getting back on its feet. President Obama started to bring troops home the end of 2011 after thousands and thousands of troops died during the 10-year span of the war. America has cut most of its ties with Iraq. I hope we do not go to war again and lose the troops we did in the war on terror. CIA, one of the agents, his name was Leon Panetta, did an interview with NBC Nightly News in May of 2011, and he quoted, "I don't think there's any question that when you get the #1 terrorist in the world, that we're a little safer today than we were when he was alive. But I also don't think we ought to kid ourselves that Osama bin Laden kills Al-Qaeda. Al-Qaeda still remains a threat. They're still going to try to attack our country. And I think we have to continue to be vigilant and continue the effort to ultimately defeat these guys. We damaged them, but we still have to defeat them." End quote. I hope I was able to give you some insight on the 9/11 attack on the United States of America, just because it had such a deep impact on my life. Some love our country and some do not, but we have to stand together as one nation under God and not be defeated. Thanks so much.